You're listening to the Hard Road Hour, where we don't sugarcoat the fight. We don't pretend life is easy, and we don't shy away from the truth. And that truth is that being a man today means that we carry weight without applause. And if you're here, chances are you're in the same battle, just trying to stay steady in a world that it just keeps pulling at you. All right, let's get into it. You ever have one of those days where you're sitting in your truck, your engine's off, your hands are on the wheel, and you just stare? Not because something's wrong, and not because you had some big blowout moment, but because you can feel something shifting underneath your ribs, like your spirit is trying to get your attention before the day really starts. That's where this episode came from. It's those little in-between moments, the moments that nobody sees. Call it the quiet war. Now, most guys, they think their battles are out there with money and work, the responsibilities. But the real fight, it's in here. It always has been. I've noticed it in myself. Some mornings I wake up and I feel this little pull toward comfort. It's not laziness. It's just that soft whisper that says, ease up today. You've been working so hard and you deserve a break. Or something like, oh gosh, I don't have to push that much. Comfort always sounds fair and reasonable. It always shows up at like that perfect moment. But every time that I listen to it, you better believe that I pay for it later. Not with disaster or some dramatic collapse in my life. I pay with something smaller. And honestly, I think it's more dangerous. It's that quiet, hollow feeling. That sense that I step back a little from the man that I'm supposed to be. I don't think anybody talks about that part either. Purpose, for me, doesn't show up like a big mission or some inspiring lightning strike. It shows up in small, stubborn ways, like in the moments where I'm doing something difficult and somewhere deep down I feel that low hum of like, this matters and it's shaping me, that it's making me stronger than I was yesterday. Purpose feels heavy, but it's the right kind of heavy, like weight on a barbell, the kind that makes you better because you're lifting it. Comfort feels good for a few minutes, but then it just starts to haul you out inside. Yeah, now I've had seasons where everything in my life looked fine on paper. Bills paid, work steady, got my family's doing great. Nothing is burning down in my world. But inside, I felt numb. Not like I was falling apart, just kind of adrift. I'm just existing. And that's what comfort does. It will trick you into thinking that you're okay, while it just quietly drains your strength. You start to coast and you're drifting. You lose track of who you were meant to be, damn it. But then one day you look in the mirror and you realize that, shit, you don't even like yourself anymore. That's the quiet war. It's not dramatic, right? Or loud. It's just like this really slow erosion of self. I remember one night I had a moment like that. It wasn't anything fancy or big. It was just me sitting on the edge of the bed. I'm tying up my boots. House is real quiet. Kids are still asleep. And this thought hit me clean. Comfort isn't saving me. It's softening me. and not in a judgmental way. It's more like a warning, right? It's just this gentle, firm reminder that I've been giving away ground, just one easy decision at a time. Skipping something I promised myself I'd do, taking shortcuts, letting the discipline blur around the edges, just going, halfway when I knew I could have gone all the way. Death by 1,000 reasonable excuses, right? And I don't think anyone would have noticed. And that's what makes the quiet war so dangerous. You can be losing the quiet war and look perfectly fine on the outside. Purpose is the opposite of that. Purpose grabs you by the collar and it says, get the fuck up and move. Build something. Today. Don't waste any more time. It gives shape to our pain and direction to our effort. It reminds you who you're trying to become. Purpose doesn't need to feel good to be right. It just needs to be chosen. Oh, gosh, verses, man. There's a verse that fits this better than anything I've ever read. I think it was James 1:12. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him. And most men, I think we read temptation, and I think it means the obvious sins, right? But the temptation that destroys more men than anything else, it's comfort. The temptation to stake the easy day, the easy path, right? Take that easy out. The blessing doesn't come to the man who avoids struggle. It comes to the man who endures that struggle, who stays steady in the small decisions. You got to try to win the battles that no one's ever going to clap for. You got to do it anyways. So if you're drifting right now, or you've been listening to comfort more than purpose lately, you're not broken. You're not failing. You're just hearing that quiet war.